This city that you see here is one of the oldest continuously inhabited settlements in Western Europe. But history schmistery. Let's check out the stadiums and arenas of Malaga, Spain. We start off at Palacio de Deportes José María Martín Carpena. That is a long name, but it is the biggest arena in the city, so fair enough. More importantly, it's named after a politician that was assassinated by a Basque nationalist terrorist organization in the same year that the venue opened. The assassination took place in front of his family, so I'm sure that's won over the Spanish public's opinion and the Basque country is now independent? Huh? No? To be clear, Malaga isn't in the Basque country. It's basically as far away as you can get on the Spanish mainland. Geez, imagine if every assassinated politician in Mexico had to, by law, have an arena named after them. It would lead to a never-before-seen construction boom. Anyway, enough about political violence. It's sad. What's not sad is the state of this arena, which is a top-notch modern venue. In particular, this Centong video board, which is rather large, at least by European standards. They can't be as big as the ones in America because the streets are narrower in Europe. They have to be able to fit it on the roof rack of a Fiat 500, you see. Next door is the Estadio Ciudad de Malaga, which was built to host the European Athletics Championships in 2006. It hosted the Spanish Championships the year before as a bit of a warm-up. A few years ago it was renovated. That is when it gained this blue track. The stadium has never had a permanent sporting tenant, but it does host the occasional bit of rugby and football. Although the majority of the seating is coming from the main stand, I appreciate that they have not left the rest of the stadium empty. There are a few rows of grass terracing that surround the rest of the field. So if the weather is perfect, you're not forced to sit in the shade. I'd imagine that the weather often is perfect in southern Spain, where the temperature is gauged by holding up a specially designed colour chart against the skin of a British tourist. It works on Germans as well. Estadio La Rosaleda is the home of the biggest football club in the city. Not that there's much competition for the title. The ground derives its name from its predecessor, which in turn derived its name from the rose garden on which it was built, which in turn derived its name from the fact that it was a garden full of roses. From street level you see nothing but raw concrete, but the concrete is arranged in such a way that it's still fairly easy on the eye. Still, I would have liked to see a bit of a nod to the rose garden name. You know, like a big relief of some roses or something. If they do watch this video and heed my advice, I'd suggest you choose the classic caramel roses, because it's the closest one to the club's colours. Or maybe classic milk, but that's boring. Inside there's a whole lot more colour on display. The seed art is on point. Still no roses though. Not that any of that matters on game day, when this place is filled to the brim with Malaga supporters. The capacity is only 30,000, but due to its compact nature, I'm sure it can be an intimidating place for the out-of-town club to come and visit. Unlike most rose gardens, they're not very intimidating. Plaza de Toros de la Malagueta is of course a bull ring. Nearly every Spanish city of note has one. Most bull rings look fairly similar on the inside. It's the facade where they tend to shine, and this place doesn't let you down in that regard. The hexadecagon has 6 arches on each side, so if my maths is correct, that's a lot of arches. Beautiful. The history is not so beautiful though. Besides the fact that bullfighting itself is a bit disturbing, it was used to hold prisoners of war during the Spanish Civil War. Conditions were very poor, as you would probably expect. A few years later it housed French refugees during World War II. In countries without bull rings, the government's got to pay good money to house refugees, so, that can be useful. Although I don't think that would be considered acceptable nowadays. This is where I am sleeping? This is bullshit.
Yeah, that is actually bullshit. Good point. We'll try to get that cleaned up for you.
Honourable mentions now. Cortillo de Torres Municipal Auditorium is a rather large outdoor music venue with a unique design and a fairly large capacity coming from this big concrete terrace. Polideportivo. This is somewhat similar to a typical low-key American college basketball arena, with its mix of benches and chairback seats. Estadio Los Manantiales is technically in a separate town called Alhauran de la Torre, but I mean it's very close to the Malaga airport, so it's worth a mention. So there you have it. As for my favourite, I think I have to go with the arena we started off with. It has a somewhat distinctive exterior, and the amenities are top notch. Thanks for watching, have a good one.